Okay, so, my name doesn't matter. What matters is this. Every morning I wake up in a mansion the size of a small village, and I hate it. Not because it's uncomfortable, it's incredibly comfortable. The problem is who owns it? My father, head of the biggest Yakuza clan in Japan. I'm his eldest son. Which means one day all of this, the empire, the men, the violence, the lawyers, becomes mine. Lucky me. This morning starts like every other. Dad at breakfast, traditional Yakuta. Face full of scars, hands full of tattoos, zero warmth. He looks up and says, "Go to your uncle's restaurant. Tell him I need the place tonight. Important meeting." I'm like, "Sure, no problem. Absolutely. I'll get right on that." I'm walking across Tokyo in brutal heat thinking, I could have been a martial arts teacher. I'm genuinely good at fighting. I trained my whole life for it. Instead, I'm a Yakuza errand boy with a dragon tattoo taking up my entire back. Every family member has one. That's the tradition. Dad's is on his arm. My sisters have small ones near the neck. Mine is full back. Enormous. Because apparently, even my tattoo is dramatic. 9:13 a.m. Monday. The city is packed. Everyone half asleep, moving like they're on autopilot. Standard Tokyo morning. I'm staring at the ground thinking about my terrible future. I reach the last crosswalk. Uncle's restaurant is literally right there. One road. That's it. Green light comes on, and I, like a complete idiot, run forward before looking. Muscle memory from martial arts training. Lead with movement, look second. In a dojo, that's smart. On a street, that is extremely stupid. There's a bus. Full bus. Not slowing down. Heading directly at my face at full speed. And here's the thing. I don't move. I don't jump left. I don't roll right. I have 8 years of reflex training, and I just stand there, staring at the bus, thinking, wow, that driver's kind of a bad person. Then, metal, impact, noise, darkness, and 4 seconds of pain that just stops, like someone hit mute on the universe. No city, no heat, no Monday, just warm white light flooding in from absolutely everywhere with zero explanation whatsoever. I'm standing. Which is impressive considering I was definitely just killed by a bus, but here I am, standing, in nothing. 4 other people are materializing around me. 2 school kids, 1 guy who looks like he belongs on a billboard, 1 woman, roughly my age. We all look at each other with the exact same face. The face that means, I have zero framework for this situation. Then the space gets brighter, and she steps out of the light. Honey blonde hair to her ankles, emerald eyes, white dress, face like someone rendered a goddess in 4K. She looks at us completely calm, like she's done this 10,000 times, like we're mildly inconvenient paperwork she needs to process. Then she opens her mouth and says, in the flattest, most bureaucratic voice I have ever heard, "You're all dead. Please accept this fact." Everyone breaks down immediately. The billboard guy starts yelling. The woman starts shaking. The school kids completely lose it. Me? I just nod. Yeah, that bus was pretty final. I'm honestly fine with this. I accepted it faster than I probably should have. She identifies herself as God, just drops it flat. No build-up. I'm God, moving on. Then she says, "You're all being reincarnated. In another world of swords and magic. Before you go, 1 wish. Each of you gets exactly 1 wish. She will grant it. No exceptions." One of the school kids, short, glasses, very serious energy, immediately announces that reincarnation has no scientific basis. "Brother, you are dead. You are talking to God." Inside of white nothing. This is genuinely not the moment for empirical debate. Goddess ignores him completely. Billboard guy goes first. Born as crown prince of the most powerful kingdom. Solid, safe, efficient. He vanishes in a flash. Gone. Glasses kid picks elf. Goddess warns him, elves only live 200, 300 years. He vanishes anyway. He wanted the ears more than the centuries. Honestly, I understand. The woman says she wants the gift of healing. Genuinely the only unselfish wish in the entire room. She disappears too. Schoolboy 2 goes for the hero power set. Full package. Classic choice. Goddess grants it without hesitation. Then he's gone. Now it's just me. And the goddess is looking at me with the energy of someone who is almost done with their shift, and I am the last customer. I need to think. Power expires. Wealth means nothing in an unknown world. Longevity alone is just extended suffering without the strength to back it up. Is there 1 wish that covers all 3 simultaneously, without sounding like I'm trying to cheat a literal divine being? She snaps, "Hurry up, or I'm sending you through without a wish." Very warm energy from her. Very nurturing goddess, really feeling the love. Fine. Decision made. I look her directly in the eyes, completely calm, and say, "I want to be reincarnated as a dragon. That's my wish." 1 full second of silence. Then her face changes. Actual surprise. Real emotion. On a deity, because of me. I will hold on to this until my next death. She recovers fast. Warns me in that same flat voice, "Dragons are enemies to every other race in this world. You understand that?" I say yes. She says so be it. And the white light detonates in every direction, consuming everything including my ability to form thoughts. Somewhere in the darkness, right before I go under completely, I hear a voice. Mechanical. No clear gender. And it's laughing at me. It says, "I love this choice. Very interesting. I wonder what you'll become." And then it laughs harder, longer, much too long. That laugh was the most unsettling thing I've ever experienced in either of my lives, worse than the bus, by a significant margin. Then a notification fires directly inside my skull. Soul synchronization complete. Reincarnation successful. Welcome to the world of Zero Astor. I can't see, can't move, can't hear anything outside, but something is pressing against my body from all directions. Elastic, thin, fragile. I push against it hard. It cracks. I push harder. More cracks appear. Light bleeds through from outside. I push with everything I've got. The shell explodes open, and I tumble into a brand new world. Because of course I was in an egg. I'm a dragon. What exactly did I expect? Drop a comment below. What wish would you have made if you were standing in that white room facing a goddess? Okay, so I hatched from an egg. Let that sink in. I asked to be a dragon, and the universe took that request completely and literally. I'm lying in broken shell pieces. Can't see, can't hear. Every single sense I have is just offline. Total system blackout. Great start. The system voice said reincarnation was successful, outstanding, wonderful. So why does it feel like someone assembled me wrong and forgot to check the work? I try to move, nothing happens. I try again, something shifts. I can feel limbs, 4 of them, and a tail. Obviously a tail, I'm a dragon. Whatever is wrapped around my body is elastic and thin. I push against it with everything I have. It cracks, more light breaks through. I push once more and the shell just detonates outward. First breath of new air in a new world. It hits completely different when you've spent however long packed inside an egg. Sharp, cool, clean, I'll take it. I look around and try to process what I'm seeing. A cave, a massive cave, and it's glowing from every surface simultaneously with no visible light source. Not a lamp, not a window, crystals. The entire cave, walls, ceiling, floor, is covered in translucent blue crystals. They produce their own light from the inside. My first thought is, are these radioactive? My second thought is, I'm a dragon now. Does radiation even apply to me anymore? Unclear. I have no idea what size I am. The cave looks enormous relative to my body, but I don't know my own scale yet. This is a new and strange experience. I'm on a raised platform at the center of the cave. A nest. I scan around expecting parents, other eggs, something. I find nothing but my own silence. Just me, alone, in a glowing crystal cave, newly hatched, in a fantasy world. This is fine. Everything is going to be completely fine. I crawl toward the platform edge, using all 4 legs plus my tail. First time operating a tail. It's more intuitive than expected. Everything about this body is strange but natural simultaneously. Below the platform, thousands of crystal spikes pointing upward. No floor visible between them. Beautiful and extremely dangerous. This world has established its tone very clearly. I stare at the nearest crystal and something fires in my vision. A translucent readout panel appears from nowhere. Text, data, and analysis, chronolite. Rarity 8 out of 10. Durability 1000, magic 100. Extremely rare crystal. Accumulates ambient world mana from the environment, which produces the glow. Additional note in the readout, explodes immediately on contact with foreign magic. So the entire cave I was born in is essentially a minefield if I use the wrong spell. Fantastic. I stare at the panel for a long moment, then at the crystal, then back. I have an analysis ability. As a newborn dragon, I can look at anything and get a full information breakdown. I analyze the nest itself. Dragon's nest, unknown dragon. Dragons build nests in mountain peak caves using their breath. Useful context. Moving on. I analyze the eggshell. Rarity 10 out of 10. Used in alchemy. Functions as a universal antidote against any poison when consumed. Rarest material I will ever encounter, probably. I was born inside the world's rarest antidote material. My entire hatching process was a pharmaceutical event, only possible in a fantasy world. I appreciate the commitment to the bit. I jump from the nest platform and land between the crystal spikes on all 4 paws. I find the largest crystal and use it as a surface mirror. Looking back at me is a completely black lizard still wearing eggshell fragments. Black scales, black claws, black eyes, black tongue and teeth. Comprehensive commitment to one color scheme. I try mentally activating a status screen. Just think the word status, and immediately a full game interface deploys inside my head like someone installed it while I was unconscious. Race, dragon egg. Status, normal. Level 1, HP 50, MP 50, Strength 50, Stamina 100, Speed 70, Defense 30. Standard starting stats, nothing impressive yet. Skills listed, Swordsmanship level 7, Martial Arts level 8, Archery level 6, Blacksmithing level 2. These came from my previous life, my training years carried over directly. So the 8 years I spent doing martial arts in my last life, the years I wanted to spend teaching, those years literally followed me into this body as combat stats. My past self upgraded my dragon. Also in the list, Temperature Resistance level 4, Pain Resistance level 6, Abnormal Status, Resistance level 10, Wisdom of Ancestors, Dark Magic level 1, Light Magic level 1. Titles, Regard, Divine Protection of Goddess Sophia, Divine Protection of God Leviathan. 3 titles at birth, 2 of which I need to investigate immediately. First, Regard. Analysis, a title earned through reincarnation. No special effects, just a marker that you died and came back to a different world, a participation trophy essentially. Second, Leviathan. Analysis, local god of darkness, patron deity of the demon king and all demonic races. His divine protection gives special affinity to darkness attribute. I have no memory of earning this. Sophia, goddess of light. Protects anyone who believes in her regardless of race or origin. She's the goddess from the White Room. The beautiful, flat-voiced one who processed my death paperwork. So, I'm a newborn dragon, under the protection of both the light goddess and the dark god at the same time. Both attributes. Both sides. Absolutely not suspicious in any way. I need to find the cave exit. Flying. Not available. I'm still in eggshell, and this body is brand new. Walking. The only option. I find the wall and follow it. Roughly 2 hours later, estimate, I have no clock. I find a tunnel. Narrow, crystal-lined, leading somewhere. I follow it without hesitation. Forward is the only direction I have. The crystals thin out as I go, then stop entirely. Ahead is pure darkness. No light, no reflection, nothing. I analyze the dark space ahead. The panel reads, Passage into Cave. This ability is so useful it feels illegal. I step forward into the dark and immediately lose all visual reference. I slow down, walk carefully, feel something strange building in my senses. Skill acquired. Night vision level 1. My body adapted to the darkness without being asked to. It just figured it out. Level 1 barely helps, but the fact that it fired at all tells me how this system works. Then something cracks under my paw. The darkness ahead starts breaking apart like a wall of frozen shadow shattering. Light bleeds through the fractures. The broken dark falls away and vanishes like glass dissolving. Light floods in and hits eyes that have been in the dark too long. I squeeze them shut. Wait. Then slowly open them. And I see it for the first time. I'm standing at the peak of a mountain. Clouds are below me. The air is thin and clean and lighter than anything I breathed in Tokyo. I take one full breath and feel it everywhere. The sun sits directly ahead, half submerged in clouds, pouring golden light across everything it touches. The sky above is white and pink. I genuinely cannot tell if this is sunrise or sunset. It doesn't matter. I'm a dragon, standing above the clouds on top of a mountain in a world where magic is real. I want to just stand here for a moment and acknowledge how completely insane this is. Other races exist here. Magic exists. Unexplored territories. Ancient treasures. No corporations. No inheritance obligation. No clan to run. Just power and freedom and everything I actually want. I decide right here on this peak. I'm going to be the strongest, the most powerful. This is what a dragon is built for. This is the second life I actually chose. Skill acquired, pride, title acquired, ruler of pride, 2 immediate notifications for that thought. Accurate. That thought was extremely prideful and I stand by it. Pride. If you feel superior to an opponent, damage dealt increases by 30%. Simple, effective. The more I believe I'll win, the harder I hit. Ruler of pride. Physical stat skills require 60% less experience to acquire. Additional effect, ruler privileges granted. 2 questions. What counts as physical stat skills and what are ruler privileges? Analysis gives me nothing useful on the privileges. I set it aside. Everything in this world gets learned through doing it. I'll figure it out when it becomes relevant. I finish reviewing the new skills and immediately realize 2 things. I am starving and I am standing on a bare rock peak with no food anywhere in sight. No plants, no animals, nothing biological on this peak. Just bare stone going down into clouds. The stamina bar is already dropping. I need to descend. Right now. I find a ledge to the right of the cave exit, about half a meter wide. Not a path by any definition, but for a small black lizard with wall-walking reflexes, manageable. 2 hours in, the ledge narrows and eventually stops existing. Cliff face, straight down. I grab with my tail and put one paw on the vertical surface. Testing whether this works. It works. I can walk on vertical surfaces. No skill notification. No explanation. Dragons apparently come with wall walking as a default feature. This species is increasingly well designed. I navigate the cliff face this way. Still wearing eggshell. Can't remove it. I've tried. The shell slows me down, but it's also the only universal antidote I have. I'm keeping it. Through the cloud layer. Cold, wet, visibility drops to nothing. Every surface immediately becomes slippery and dangerous. I move fast. I don't enjoy it. I emerge below. Below the clouds, the slope mellows. Ledges reappear. Snow covers everything thickly. I spot a flat platform below me and move toward it quickly. Wrong move. My paw hits snow-covered rock, and I slide off the edge immediately. I fall. I bounce. I roll down the slope and slam face first into a boulder at the bottom. My status check. HP dropped from 50 to 35. Stamina at 50 from 100. Status. Damaged. The abnormal status. Resistance was suppressing my hunger this whole time, and the impact broke through it. I'm hungry. Damaged. Stationary on a snowy ledge with nothing around me. I scan the area methodically. Look, listen, smell. Repeat all 3. Keep repeating. Skill acquired. Enhanced hearing. Level 1. Skill acquired. Enhanced smell level. 1. 2 new senses unlocked just by paying attention. I'll take it. I study the ridgeline carefully for several minutes. pushing my vision as hard as I can toward the far distance, trying to pick up any detail. Skill acquired, enhanced vision level. A 1. Third sense upgraded just by using it deliberately. The Ruler of Pride passive is absolutely carrying right now. The Ruler of Pride effect is real. Physical stat skills at 60% reduced experience cost. I'm acquiring passive abilities just by doing basic things and paying attention. Genuinely unfair. Absolutely keeping it. I use the new hearing to listen below the platform. Stone on stone. Rhythmic. Something alive. I look down over the edge and process what I'm seeing. On the ledge below me sits a centipede. Enormous. Twice my length and twice my size. Gray and white. Currently eating another centipede. Its stamina is completely drained from the fight. Race, Stone Corpse Eater. Level 4. Strength 160. Defense 200. HP 105. Stamina 30 out of 230. Venomous Bite, Level 2. Stone Titan, Level 4. Title, Cannibal. It is twice my size and roughly twice my strength. Its defense is 200, minus 30. But its stamina is nearly gone. And I can see the one vulnerable spot. The junction between head and body. No armor there. Plan, jump from directly above, land on its back before it can react. Bite the neck junction immediately and hold. Use tail to lock the body so it can't throw me. Do not let go. I position myself directly above the creature. Check my status one final time. Take a breath, and jump straight down onto its back. I land on its back with a crunch that rattles every bone I have. It was not expecting a dragon egg to fall on it from the sky. It didn't look up. Fatal oversight. It thrashes immediately, hissing, throwing its body in every direction. I dig all 4 claws into its back and lock my tail around its body. It is not shaking me loose. I will not let it. I find the neck junction and bite down with everything I've got. First crunch. It thrashes harder. I bite again. Green liquid sprays. That's the blood. Green, foul, bitter. Almost certainly poisonous. But I'm wearing eggshell. Universal antidote. So I bite through the poison spray and keep going. Second crunch. Third. The head starts separating. One more and it's done. The body convulses for half a minute and stops. First kill. I check my status. HP at 15. Stamina at 10. Status. Poisoned. That fight cost nearly everything I had. I eat a fragment of eggshell. Status shifts from poisoned to weakened and heavily damaged. Not great, but dramatically better. I look at the centipede corpse and accept what I have to do. I bite into it. The taste is a deliberate insult from this world. Acid, chemicals, rot, and bitterness combined. I keep eating because survival does not ask for your preferences. Level 2 notification. Then level 3. Then 4. Then 5. 4 consecutive level ups as I eat through the corpse. Then the system drops a different message entirely. Evolution conditions met. Evolution will proceed automatically. Species, dragon egg evolves into newborn dragon. Then something grabs every part of my body at once and pulls in every direction simultaneously. Every cell feels like it's being rebuilt. I black out. I wake up staring at the sky. My entire body aches from the inside out, like every cell got rebuilt from scratch and some of them are still complaining about it. But my status is completely transformed. Race, newborn dragon. Level 1. HP 170. MP 170. Strength 200, stamina 200, speed 200, defense 170. Everything more than tripled in a single evolution. New skills. Dragon Scales, level 1. Dragon Breath, level 1. Dragon Soul. And I'm lying on broken eggshell. When the species changed, the shell I was wearing became obsolete and just fell off. I analyzed the new skills properly. Dragon Scales, level 1. Thick, durable scales covering the body. Defense plus 10 per level. Skill incomplete. No attribute effects unlocked yet. Still growing. Dragon Breath, level 1. Powerful magical attack on exhale. No element yet, skill still forming. Costs 20 MP. A strong energy wave. Not fire yet. Energy. I can work with energy. Dragon Soul. Soul cannot be infected with false memories. Cannot be parasitized by a hostile second soul. Cannot be enslaved. My soul is indestructible. I analyze what those threats mean. Soul infection plants false memories or erases real ones. Soul parasitism installs a second hostile soul that fights for control of your body. Soul enslavement makes you a slave or a pet. These are real, common enough threats in this world that the system felt the need to protect me from all three at birth. I'm extremely glad Dragon Soul came with a package. I eat the centipede, still terrible. Get poison resistance level 1 from it, and gluttony, excess food stores as bonus stamina instead of being lost. Both useful. I sleep, wake at night. A stone corpse eater is crawling 6 meters from my shelter. I attack immediately and without drama. My new body feels completely different from the one I woke up in after hatching. Faster, more agile. Scales visible now, black and dense as tempered steel. Wings exist, but are too small for flight. The pride skill fires the moment I feel the gap between us, and I hit significantly harder than my base stats suggest I should. Second fight, over in 30 seconds. 2 bites to the neck junction, and it's done. I eat it. Still awful. This is apparently just my life now. Over the following days, I push further down the mountain. Snow thins, centipede population thins. New monster types begin to appear as I leave their territory. Tarkovi, Giant black beetles, no antenna, acid spitting. One Tarkov alone is manageable. A swarm of 10 with coordinated acid fire is absolutely not worth engaging. I route around every group. Morongi, large gray and white vulture birds. Hunt in pairs from above. Low defense and HP, strong physical attack, long bare neck, no armor there, not venomous. They become my main food source. Basilisks, big fast lizards with one ability, basilisk eye. Petrification on direct eye contact. I never hunt them, I treat them as a category of hazard to be avoided. This rule holds for exactly 1 day. I stop paying attention for 30 seconds. Look up, and there's a basilisk 5 meters away making direct eye contact. My nose starts stiffening. My right front paw goes numb, stone spreading. I charge directly at the basilisk in a zigzag to break the gaze lock. I jump for its back. It sidesteps. My left rear paw catches secondary petrification. I'm now operating on 3 limbs. Do you know who I am? I am a dragon. I breathe directly at the basilisk. Dragon breath. Level 5, a concentrated wave of energy that scorches everything in its path. The basilisk takes it full. I close the distance and rake both eyes with my claws. That is what you earn for petrifying a dragon. Then its tail launches me sideways into a rock wall. A fair exchange, honestly. I get up, blast it twice more with dragon breath. It stops moving. I walk to the body and make a genuine promise to myself to never be careless again. I mean it this time. I've been limping on 2 legs since that encounter. Status permanently reads damaged and petrification. I see it every time I check my menu. Annoying reminder. Good reminder. The actual apex predators of this mountain zone are the mountain asps. Enormous black serpents. One head alone is the size of my whole body. Stats range from 600 to 800 points. When I encounter a mountain asp, I hide. That's the entirety of my strategy. I watched one tear a basilisk apart from behind a boulder and held completely still until it left. One night, I'm in my shelter eating a... No creature I've cataloged makes that sound. Not the asps. Not anything I've seen or analyzed. Something on this mountain is larger and louder than everything else I've encountered. The next morning I find a half-eaten mountain asp. A large one, already picked over. Multiple Tarkovi and 2 Morongi fighting over scraps. Something ate a full mountain asp and left the rest. I understand in that moment that level 6 doesn't make me strong. It makes me stronger than a centipede. I'm still at the bottom of this food chain in any meaningful sense. Several days have passed. I fought enough to reach level 6. Race, newborn dragon. Level 6, HP equal 120 of 176. Strength 226, speed 226, defense 256, stamina 306 with 50 bonus reserve. Temperature resistance hit level 10 and became temperature nullification. Abnormal status resistance did the same. Both now permanent, no level, just always on. Extremely useful on a frozen mountain. New title, Hidden Assassin. Earned through ambush attacks. Unlocked 2 new skills, Swift, which raises speed per level, and Invisible, which makes me harder to detect by any sense. Stuck at level 6 for 3 days. Basilisks here are suspicious now. 2 failed ambush attempts. A Morongi pair attacked me on the way back. I killed them. Level 3 and 4. Barely satisfying. I leave my stone shelter. I built that thing over multiple days and carved the interior with dragon breath. It cost everything my MP pool had at the time, walking away from it without looking back. I move through the mountain with constant vigilance. Stop every few minutes, listen, smell, scan visually. I've learned to feel danger before it becomes visible. This skill keeps me alive. Evening comes. I find a wide depression cut into the cliff face. Clearly artificial. Someone excavated this deliberately. I descend into it to check for a shelter option. The floor is covered in black rocks, unlike anything I've seen before. Pure black with small mineral inclusions that catch the light. Not earth-colored, not natural-looking. I analyze 1. Baronite ore. Rarity 4 of 10. Purity 70%. Durability 200. A medium rarity ore used to produce baronite metal. Not as impressive as chronolite, but worth noting. I file it away. And then I forget every rule I have ever made about staying alert. I just stand there staring at rocks like I have nothing else to worry about. The oath I made after the basilisk. Gone. The fear arrives before the cause does. Pure animal instinct firing before my conscious brain identifies what triggered it. My body locks, muscles refuse input. All I can do is turn around. Behind me is a cave entrance. Large, dark, clearly part of the same excavated structure. I somehow did not notice it when I climbed down. And something very large is crawling out of it right now. Body covered in feathers, wings structured like a bat, wings that are also forearms, black beak, black eyes, long lizard tail also feathered, larger than a mountain asp, much larger. I'm shaking. I want to be very clear that I, a dragon, am physically shaking from fear. I don't want to die in this pit. Not here, not to this, not before I've done anything worth remembering. No exit. The creature is between me and the only path out. I find the narrowest gap under a pile of ore boulders and press myself in as far as my body will go. The creature walks directly toward me. Slow, deliberate, not rushing, taking its time. The way something moves when it knows you have nowhere to go and is in no hurry about it. My invisible skill levels up twice in rapid succession as I hold completely still and stop breathing entirely. The creature leans its black beak toward my hiding gap and starts sniffing. I do not breathe. I do not move. I do not think loudly. I exist as minimally as possible and hope it's enough. The sniffing continues for what feels like an unreasonable amount of time. The creature sniffs once more, pauses, straightens up, walks past my hiding spot, disappears deeper into the pit. I stay still for much longer than strictly necessary before I move. Then I analyze the direction it went. Race, black-beaked wyvern Sarah. Unique, level 36, HP 2250, MP 2106, Strength 2150, Speed 2206, Defense 2056. Skills, Steel Feathers, level 8, Jaw level 7, Perfect Hearing level 10, Perfect Smell level 10, Wind Magic level 4, Dark Magic level 4, Invisible level 8, Gaze of Fear. Titles, Cannibal, Hidden Assassin, Monster Slayer, Unique. 4 titles on a level 36 creature that nearly found me by smell in a crack in a rock. Level 36, Defense over 2000. I'm sitting at level 6 with Defense 256. This creature could breathe on me and I would be finished. It could look at me too hard and I would be finished. I said I had become strong. I was wrong. Level 6 means I can beat centipedes. This mountain has level 36 unique wyverns and something that eats full mountain asps. I am not strong. I extract myself from the ore pit as carefully as I have ever moved in my entire second life. I don't look back. I don't run. I just leave, calmly, with great purpose, and never return. I barely sleep that night. I lie in a temporary shelter thinking about the wyvern's stat readout, thinking about the roar I heard, thinking about how far the gap between me and the top actually is. It's clarifying, though. One honest look at something genuinely beyond me and the picture becomes clear. I need to evolve again, fast, and I need to choose my next evolution correctly. 2 days pass without major events. I move. I hunt what I can. The sun appears once, first time since leaving my birth cave. I'd actually forgotten what direct sunlight looked like. I appreciate it. Then I smell something ahead. Sour and heavy, something decomposing. I follow it into a narrow passage between cliff sections and find dead mountain asp, large. 4 corpse eaters on the body. 4. I could maybe handle 2 on a good day at full stamina. 4 is not a fight I take today. I route around by descending below the ledge and traveling parallel at lower altitude. Traveling along the cliff below, I spot a narrow crack in the rock face. Too tight for the asp, too tight for the corpse eaters without serious difficulty. I fit through it without trying. Inside, a small cave. Empty. No signs of recent habitation, no tracks. Safe enough to use as a rest point. I settle in facing the entrance and look out at the mountain. What happens to me in this world? Do I die alone on a frozen cliff with no name and nobody who ever knew I was here? Or do I become strong enough that this world actually has to take me seriously? That one matters more than the other question by a significant amount. I close my eyes. The answer that keeps returning is the same every single time. Forward. Only forward. I didn't choose to be reincarnated as a dragon to die unnamed on a mountain nobody has mapped. So I decided to stop hiding and start actually hunting. Not centipedes, not basilisks. Real hunting. Systematic, with a plan that doesn't end with me limping. Here's where I am. Level 6, stuck. 3 days of failed basilisk ambushes. My invisible skill isn't high enough to sneak up on something with perfect smell. I need a different approach. I need to build a base of operations. Somewhere near a reliable basilisk population fortified enough that I can rest safely and hunt in controlled conditions. So I start moving boulders, enormous ones. I find a natural alcove in the cliff face and start dragging rocks toward it, using my tail and all 4 limbs simultaneously. Carrying boulders is harder than it sounds when you've never done it before. The first one I try to lift just doesn't move. I adjust my grip. Try again, fails again. 3rd attempt. I stop thinking about it like a human would and start using my tail as a lever. The boulder shifts, slowly, but it shifts. Progress is progress, even when it's embarrassing. It takes what feels like several hours of back and forth dragging to get enough material together, but the result is real, a stone structure. Not elegant, not pretty, but solid. Skill acquired. Strong level 1. My strength stat jumps and suddenly the boulder moves. The ruler of pride passive fired again. 60% less experience for physical skills means I'm leveling just by moving rocks. I point my mouth at the interior and fire dragon breath. The concentrated energy wave scorches the inside of the rock pile, burning out a cavity just large enough to fit inside comfortably. My MP drops to 0, completely empty. I sit outside my new home waiting for it to refill and feel extremely satisfied for something I built on the first day of construction. This is my base now. I carved it myself with dragon breath and dragged every boulder by hand. I named it Home Made of Rocks. Nobody else gets a vote on the name. The basilisk hunting strategy takes shape over the next few days. Identify a target, follow at distance using invisible, wait for it to turn its back, then move in. The problem is that basilisks have genuinely good senses. Even with invisible active, my enhanced smell and enhanced hearing can detect them fine, but they can sometimes detect me too. Out of 5 attempts, 3 successful kills, 2 failed. The 2 failures were extremely unpleasant. One ended with me running, one ended with partial petrification again. Status still says damaged, but the 3 kills were enough. Level 6 to level 7. Then a fourth basilisk puts me at level 8. The experience from high-level targets is dramatically better than grinding centipedes. After the fifth successful ambush, I get a new notification. Title acquired, Hidden Assassin. Skill acquired, Swift level 1. Skill acquired, Invisible upgraded to level 2. Hidden Assassin. I have a title that implies I am a professional killer. I killed 5 basilisks from stealth on a mountain. That is technically accurate. I'm choosing to be okay with it. Swift works exactly like Strong. Each level adds to my speed stat. With Ruler of Pride reducing the experience cost by 60%, these skills level faster than they should. Good. Invisible level 2 means I'm harder to detect. Not invisible in the literal sense. The skill hides my presence from senses, makes me quieter, harder to smell. Level 2 isn't much, but it's movement. I notice something about how the skill system works. When a skill hits level 10, it evolves. My temperature resistance just hit level 10 during a particularly cold night patrol. New notification. Temperature resistance level 10 evolved into temperature nullification. No level number attached, just permanent. I no longer feel temperature at all. Hot, cold. The difference between standing in snow and standing next to a fire. Gone. I just don't experience it anymore. For a dragon on a frozen mountain, this is significant. Abnormal status resistance hits level 10 a few days later. Same thing. Abnormal status nullification. Permanent. No more poison status. No more petrification building up. Clean slate. Wait. No more petrification building up? I check my status. The damaged and petrification entries are still there from the earlier basilisk encounter. But no new petrification can accumulate. The existing damage from before the nullification kicked in is still present. The nullification only prevents new instances. So I'm still limping, but nothing new can stack. Noted. My status now shows defense at 256, strength at 226, speed at 226, stamina at 306 with a 50-point reserve from gluttony, HP at 120 out of 176 because of the existing damage. I've learned one critical lesson about this world in the past several days. Beasts that are stronger than you don't announce themselves. They don't posture. They just appear and then you're dealing with it. The thing that ate the mountain asp is still out there somewhere. I hear it roughly once every 2 nights, never in the same direction twice. It moves across the whole mountain range. I don't go toward the sound. I don't investigate. I stay in my fortified rock home and wait for it to pass. This is called strategic patience, not fear. Strategic patience. Important distinction. Then comes the day I decide to leave. 3 days at level 6, with no new progress. The basilisks around my home territory have either been killed or relocated. Time to move. I look at my structure. I look at the surrounding cliff. I think about the hours I spent dragging boulders. Then I turn around and walk away from it without looking back. Goodbye, home made of rocks. You were well built. You served your purpose. I hope the next dragon who finds you appreciates the craftsmanship. I mean that sincerely. I move carefully across the mountain face. Every few minutes I stop completely. Listen, smell, scan the terrain visually, then continue. I've made this a reflex now. Stop, assess, move. Morangi patrol above me. I track them without engaging. Level 3 and 4, not worth the stamina cost. Tarkovi scatter below in acid-spitting clusters. I route around both groups. I'm moving parallel to the mountain's natural ridgeline when my nose picks up something wrong. Not the rot smell of a dead asp. Something else. Cold, sharp, like frost, but chemical. I stop. Press against the cliff wall, scan forward. The rock surfaces ahead are coated in something thin, white, patchy. Not snow. Too localized. Snow doesn't appear on one boulder and skip to the next. This is specific. This is intentional. Something produced this frost pattern, and whatever made it is somewhere ahead of me right now. I stop moving. I retreat to a large boulder and watch the passage from cover. A full minute passes. Then something moves in the white material, stretched between the cliff wall and the canyon floor. Not frost at all. I realize it a second later. Spider silk. Actual web material. Thick enough to anchor to stone walls and span the full width of the canyon below, and then the spider itself emerges from its web. Large. Immediately identifiable as something I should have walked away from. I analyze it before it notices me. Race, acid arachna. Status, hungry. Level 9, HP 519, MP 409, Strength 519, Speed 539, Defense 419, Stamina 100 out of 400. These numbers are significantly above mine in every category. Skills, Night Vision Level 9, Poison Nullification, Acid Nullification, Web Weaving. Level 7, Acid Glands, Venomous Bite. Level 8, Chitin Level 6, Speed Gift Level 4, Strong Level 4, Dark Magic Level 1, Titles, Cannibal, Hidden Assassin, Poison Expert, Web User, 4 titles. Level 9, Hungry, and I'm level 6 with damaged legs. This calculation does not work in my favor. It's level 9. I'm level 6. Its strength stat is 519. Mine is 226. Its speed is 539. Mine is 226. It's faster, stronger, and hungry. I start walking backward carefully. I turn around properly and begin climbing back up the cliff face. This is not a fight I take today. I make this decision clearly and without ego. Good call. Smart dragon. Then I hear it behind me. Not a click of stone, a skittering sound, fast, getting faster. I look back over my shoulder and the acid arachna is already on the wall behind me, closing distance. I run, straight up the cliff face as fast as my legs move. The arachna is faster on vertical surfaces than I am. I can hear it gaining ground with every second that passes. Something white shoots past me from below and sticks to the cliff above my head. Web. If I get caught in that web, I stop moving and then I'm finished. I dodge sideways across the cliff face. Second web shot. I drop off the cliff deliberately, spread my wings like a brake, and glide down to the canyon floor. Land running. The arachna lands behind me 30 seconds later. The speed gap on flat ground is still against me, but smaller. I push forward. The arachna lands behind me and comes on faster, still gaining. I can't run this down, I can't outpace it. So I stop running and turn around. If I'm going to die, I'm at least going to do it while facing the thing that kills me. Some standards matter. I fire dragon breath directly at the arachna. It sidesteps at genuinely impressive speed and spits something at me in return. I roll sideways. Where the spit hits, the ground develops a hole. Acid. She fires again. I dodge again. She fires 3 times in rapid succession, and I can't avoid all 3. One catches my left side. The acid eats into my scales. HP drops fast and hard. She has more range than me. She can stay back and dissolve me from distance, while I can only use dragon breath at short range. I need to close the gap or change the situation entirely. My stamina is higher. Her stamina is at 100 out of 400 because she's been starving. If I can make this a war of attrition, I might survive long enough for her to slow down. I start moving in circles, feinting toward her, retreating, making her spit acid at moving targets and miss, burning her limited stamina reserves every time she wastes a spit shot. It's working. Slowly. Her reaction speed is dropping slightly, but then she changes strategy and charges directly at me without spitting first. Full speed, no warning. She moves at full speed and hits me with a bladed foreleg before I can create distance. The limb goes through my shoulder and back. My left foreleg goes nearly useless. HP drops to 15, but I'm inside her reach now. I bite into her head with every bit of force I have. Claw into her midsection, wrap my tail around 2 of her legs and snap them sideways with full leverage. She didn't expect me to lean into the attack instead of pulling away. She wasn't braced. She goes sideways, and before she can recover, I'm already biting again. Keep going, don't stop. She spits acid at point-blank range directly onto my chest. The pain is extraordinary. My pain resistance prevents the shock from shutting me down, but the actual sensation is still there. HP at 15. She wraps me in web, fast and efficient. I can barely move my limbs. She bites into my side. I feel the venom enter. Status changes. HP counter reads single digits. This is it. This is how I die the second time. Wrapped in spider silk in a canyon on a mountain in a world I've been alive in for less than 2 weeks. Eaten by a spider. Embarrassing. No, not here. I didn't survive the white room and the egg and the cliff face and the wyvern just to be a spider's lunch. I refuse. Something hardens. Something decides. I want to survive. More than that. I want to kill this spider. She's already mine. She just doesn't know it yet. Kill her. Kill her. Kill her. The thought loops and amplifies. Skill acquired. Fearlessness. Title acquired. Ruler of fearlessness. Skill. Fearlessness activated automatically. HP below 10%. All stats tripled. My body just ignites. White fire erupts from my mouth. Not the energy blast of dragon breath, actual flame. White and hungry. It burns through the web in an instant. The arachna catches fire. She tries to spit acid to kill it. The acid doesn't help. The web she produces also catches. She thrashes. She spins. She tries to roll it out in every direction. 5 minutes of burning and she drops. Doesn't get back up. The fire finds every gap in her chitin and she can't put it out. I told her, I always keep my word. Level up, level up, level up, level up. Level 6 to level 10 in one notification chain. Killing a level 9 enemy at critical HP with tripled stats generates an enormous experience reward. Then a new message fires. Evolution conditions met. Multiple evolution paths available. Choose one path to continue. I have 5 HP and a nearly detached leg. Great timing system. Options. Hatchling Holy Dragon. Hatchling Poison Dragon. Hatchling Fire Dragon. Hatchling Chaos Dragon. 4 paths. 5 HP. I need to decide before I bleed out completely. Holy Dragon. Not a fighter. I can feel that in the name without needing analysis. Poison Dragon. The name alone makes me nauseous after weeks of eating venomous things. No. Fire Dragon. Standard. Solid. Probably great fire breath and decent stats. Nothing obviously special beyond that. Nothing about it makes me feel anything specific. Chaos Dragon. I start analyzing the full description. My HP counter hits 0 before I finish reading the first line. The screen goes dark mid-sentence. I black out still thinking, probably Chaos Dragon. That sounds right. That one sounds like me. I hope the system registers a preference from an unconscious dragon. I wake up, and something is wrong with the scale of everything around me. Boulders I remember as large look smaller. The canyon I ran through looks narrower. Morongi circling above look like small birds. Then I understand. I didn't get smaller. Everything else got smaller relative to me. I evolved while unconscious, and apparently chaos dragon hatchlings are significantly larger. I open my mouth to clear my throat. What comes out is a column of black and red fire that burns a crater into the stone below me. Not white, not energy. Black-red fire, chaos fire, new status, race, hatchling chaos dragon. Level 1, HP 2500, MP 3100, strength 2500, speed 3000, defense 3000, stamina 3000 reserve. These numbers are almost funny after where I started. HP 50 to HP 2500, defense 30 to defense 3000. I went from a lizard who barely beat an exhausted centipede to something with stats in the thousands. Progress has been made. Dragon scales of hatchling chaos. Dragon level 1, very hard, sharp scales that block light reflection. Defense plus 100 per level. Direct scale attack available. Opponents receive bleeding status. Dragon breath of hatchling chaos. Dragon level 1, special fire that cannot be extinguished by any liquid. Opponents hit receive curse status alongside burn damage. Now fully formed, no more incomplete warnings. Both skills are fully formed now, no more incomplete warnings. The chaos type locked in the darkness attribute. My dragon breath is now actual unquenchable cursed black fire. Chaos Dragon Eye, no vision superior to yours. Additional effect, opponents who meet your gaze feel your power directly. Phantom Fear attack available through eye contact alone. Third Eye, nothing can hide from you within a 10-kilometer radius. I process that number. 10 kilometers. I can passively sense everything alive within 10 kilometers at all times. Permanently. I activate it immediately. The information flow is overwhelming at first. Auras, movement, positions. Dozens of signals from every direction and elevation coming in simultaneously. I can see Morangi circling. I can sense Tarkovi clusters below. I can feel 2 basilisks on the eastern slope. I can feel a mountain asp 2 ridgelines over. And I can feel the thing that roars at night. It's 3 kilometers north. Stationary. Sleeping, maybe? I analyze its direction. Black-beaked wyvern Sarah. Unique. Level 36. Same one I hid from in the ore pit. Still level 36. Still the benchmark. But the gap is different now. Before I was an ant hiding from a boot. Now I'm something that at least registers on the same scale. Not equal, but no longer invisible by comparison. I flex my wings. They're enormous. Each wing is larger than my entire previous body. I spread them fully and the shadow they cast covers the canyon below me completely. I don't think about it. I don't prepare. I run 3 steps to the edge of the rock shelf I'm standing on and launch into the air. And I fly. It works immediately. Not perfectly. I wobble. I overcorrect. I spend the first 30 seconds feeling like I'm going to drop. But I'm in the air and I'm moving upward. This is real. Something clicks. An instinct older than my human memories. My wings find their rhythm. My tail adjusts my balance automatically. The wobbling stops. The air becomes natural. I rise above the mountain, then above the cloud layer. Then I'm in clear sky with nothing above me but altitude, and the wind is cold and clean and completely silent up here. I look down. The mountain range I spent weeks crawling across looks like a small gray crescent below me. I can see the forest to the south. I can see the wasteland between the mountain and forest. I can see so far that the horizon curves. This is what it was supposed to feel like. This is the second life I chose, and it is everything I decided it would be standing on that peak after hatching. I fly back down and make a landing at the foot of the mountain near the start of the wasteland. I need a nest here. Ground level, defensible, near the hunting ground. Same process as before. I fly to the mountain, pick up a boulder in my forelegs, fly back, drop it. Repeat 9 times. On the 10th trip, my strength gift skill levels from 1 to 2. Moving mountains has side benefits. I arrange the boulders into a circle, point my mouth at the center. Fire. The black-red flame carves a crater into the ground inside the circle. Deep and warm and exactly right. I step into the crater and lie down. The heat from freshly burned stone radiates through my scales from below. This is the best experience of my entire second life. Hot stone nest. I sleep immediately, deeply, without checking my surroundings first, because with third eye active at all times I don't need to. If anything comes within 10 kilometers, I'll know before it knows I exist. I wake up hungry. I launch into the air without thinking about it. The flight reflex is already automatic. My wings spread before I've consciously decided to fly. The body knows what it is now. I activate third eye while airborne and scan the mountain. Morangi barely register. Basilisks, not worth engaging and not my prey class now. Tarkovi, irrelevant at my current stats. I'm looking for something bigger, something that actually represents a meal at my scale. I scan further out from my position and across the upper mountain face. A wyvern, smaller than the black-beaked Sarah. Gray feathers, gray beak, normal eyes, not a unique. Moving through the air in my direction, and when it senses me, it immediately reverses course. The fear skill. Every creature weaker than me feels it at 300-meter range. This wyvern is already reacting to my presence from much further than that. It felt me through the aura before it saw me. It's not escaping. I fold my wings and dive. Freefall acceleration in this body is something I have not experienced before, and it is extraordinary. The wind roars past, and the wyvern below has no idea. I don't use dragon breath. I don't want ash. I want food. I hit the wyvern with my tail, spiked, bladed, much longer than my old tail, and we go down together toward the cliff face. We impact. I slam the wyvern into rock twice, bite 3 times, and it stops moving. Level 2 notification fires. Skills across the board move up 1 level each. The wyvern is not poisonous. It tastes like actual meat and not chemicals. After weeks of eating centipedes and acid spiders, this is an almost religious experience. Real food exists in this world. I eat everything. While eating, I think, am I king of the sky now? Probably not. The black-beaked wyvern Sarah is still level 36, but I'm in the conversation in a way I wasn't before. Hunting from the air becomes my standard routine. Fly out, activate third eye, locate the largest creature within range, chase it down, eat, return to nest, repeat. Over the following days, I clear the mountain systematically. Not everything. I still avoid the black-beaked Sarah and the asp in its territory, but everything else becomes prey or background. I find the old mines. The smaller mountain, Dragon Cub Mountain, according to analysis, has several cave entrances with carved stone arches and a broken inscription plaque at each opening. Someone built these, deliberately. The Baronite ore in the pit where I encountered the wyvern. These mines are where it was originally extracted. Someone was working here long ago. I go inside one, and immediately 3 spiders drop on me from the ceiling. Not acid arachna. Underground arachna. Larger, thicker legs covered in stone chitin, pure black with glowing red eyes. I deal with them in seconds. Not even a real fight at my current stats. I was level 9 when I nearly died to an acid arachna. I'm hatchling chaos, dragon level 3 now, and these don't register. I clear the tunnel and follow it deeper. A large circular chamber opens up ahead. Approximately 20 more underground arachna. All of them turn and stare at me with 20 pairs of red eyes simultaneously. I'm not thinking about the spiders. In the center of the chamber stands a stone statue wrapped entirely in spider silk. On the opposite wall, 4 massive iron doors, impossibly well preserved. I breathe fire across the room. The silk burns. The spiders scatter and I deal with them methodically. Tail, claws, fire when they cluster. 10 minutes and the chamber is clear and quiet. The silk on the statue burns away and falls as ash. What's underneath makes me stop completely and just stand there looking at it for several seconds without doing anything else. A knight, life-sized or slightly larger, full medieval European plate armor, a cloak with intricate patternwork. No helmet, the face is visible. The craftwork on this face is extraordinary. An older man, full beard, a patch over one eye. The single visible eye looks forward with absolute conviction. The craftwork on this face is extraordinary. Whoever made this knew their subject. The shield has a carved border and a heraldic center design, 6 quadrants with separate symbols, mountains, a river, a fortress tower, a secondary crest, a lily-shaped flower, 2 crossed pickaxes. Behind the central design, a crossed sword and staff. Above everything, a crown. 1 title below everything else. I use analysis on the whole statue and wait for the readout. Statue of Rakat Kuvere Sanfort I, made of Bashat. Unique, highest grade, crafted by unknown masters, funded by workers of the Dragon Cub mountain mines, honoring the Duke who built something here, so it was definitely mines. And this mountain is called Dragon Cub Mountain, which is a name I appreciate significantly given what I am. I analyze the statue material. Bashat. Bashat. Rarity, 6 out of 10. A magical metal, only found in the central territory of the Fidei continent. Used to make equipment from unique highest grade through legendary middle grade. The Fidei continent. I analyze that. Continent mostly populated by demonic races. Central territory. The kingdom of Asanora Mao. Lands of the Demon King. Someone used Demon King territory material to build a statue for a knight in a mine on Dragon Cub Mountain. That is not cheap or easy. These workers respected this man enormously. I am about to move on when I notice it. The shield in the statue's hands catches light differently from the rest of the statue. Slightly. Just enough that my Chaos Dragon Eye flags it automatically. Different material. I analyze the shield specifically. Shield of Sanfort. Legendary, low grade, personal item. Defense plus 1500. Durability 3000. These numbers are well above current market for anything I've analyzed. Enchantments, intermediate anti-magic, advanced anti-physical, intermediate lightning, minor owner's contract. Personal equipment of Rakat Kuvere Sanfort I. Forged by him for himself and his descendants. I stand in this chamber for a long time. A legendary item. In an abandoned mine, left behind when everyone who worked here apparently just left. No bodies. No signs of fighting. Just gone. No skeletons anywhere. No signs of a battle. No indication of what happened. The shield is a family heirloom. Why is it still here? What happened to the Sanfort family? I leave the shield where it is. I leave the statue where it is. Both have histories that belong to someone else, and I'm not taking things that aren't mine. Not yet. Not until I know more. I exit the mine. 2 moons above, Dragon Cub Mountain, white gold and pale blue. I lie on a cliff shelf and watch them and think about the knight with the eye patch and what he built here. From up here, the moons cast overlapping shadows on the snow, white gold and pale blue, beautiful and strange. I lie on a cliff shelf and think about the knight with the eye patch and what he built. I want to know that story. At some point, this world is going to have to let me in far enough to actually find it. But that means leaving the mountain first. I've learned everything Dragon Cub Mountain has to teach me. Every zone cleared, every species cataloged. Level 14, genuinely bored. Boredom is a problem I didn't anticipate. Boredom means the days are empty in a way they weren't when survival filled every hour. I think about Tokyo, I think about the mansion I hated and would genuinely like to see one more time. I think about my sisters, my father, the dojo I wanted to open, the girl I was dating. All of it sitting in the past of a different universe that I cannot get back to. Not possible. Not even close to possible. I sit on a high cliff in the snow at night and feel something I haven't let myself feel since I hatched. Genuinely sad. Not briefly, not strategically. Just sad in an honest way. A gust of cold wind from the north drops snow directly on my head. I look up at it, falling. Then I look south at the forest I can see from this elevation. Okay, enough of this. The past is done. It's not coming back. What I have is here and ahead. This world, this body, this completely insane second life that I chose on purpose in a white room facing a goddess. I go back to my nest, heat the stone floor with a long blast of fire, lie down in the warmth, think about the choice I've already made. Sleep comes fast after that. In the morning, rare weather, clear sky, actual sunlight with no clouds, I spread my wings, run 3 steps, and launch from my nest for the last time. The shadow I cast, crossing Dragon Cub Mountain from north to south, sends every living thing I pass into cover. Every Morongi lands, every basilisk freezes, Tarkovi swarms scatter. The hatchling chaos dragon is leaving the mountain. The mountain's ecosystem collectively holds its breath until the shadow has fully crossed to the southern edge and disappeared. 4 or 5 hours of flight at moderate speed. The wasteland below me ends, the forest begins. Silver-green trees, tall and pointed like frost-covered pines, stretch south as far as Third Eye's range covers. I land in front of the first tree at the forest's edge, taller than I expected, larger than me by a meaningful margin. Silver bark, silver-green needles getting more silver the higher the branch. I analyze it. Silver epiaster. Rarity 4 out of 10. Age 124. Height 17 ands. Rare subtype of epiaster family, found mainly in rocky or mountainous terrain. Produces edible nuts with mild healing properties. 2 things stand out. First, the healing properties in the nuts. That's useful and new. Second, the measurement unit. Ands, I analyze it because unfamiliar units are a knowledge gap I don't want. An, standardized unit of length used primarily by humans on the continent of Romaine, approximately equal to 1 adult human step. 1,000 ands equals 1 oan. 100,000 ands equals 1 yan. Romaine, I analyze the continent name. Romaine, largest and most diverse continent in the world of Zero Astor. Most varied in population types, climate zones, and terrain features. So I'm on the Romaine continent. My birth cave, Dragon Cub Mountain, the wasteland, this forest, all Romaine. First piece of geography I have that means anything. I know where I am. I build a new nest that first day. Rocks from the wasteland, same construction as before, same heated crater interior. The forest location gives better cover from above. I like the positioning. Over the following days, I explore the near section of forest. Approximately 400 kilometers of territory, mapped systematically using third eye and direct aerial observation. The terrain shifts from rocky and snowy at the mountain-adjacent edge to hillier and more earthen further south. The monsters are weaker here overall than on the mountain, relatively speaking. The saber-toothed Nearths rule this territory. They look like tigers. No stripes, enormous saber teeth jutting from the jaw, small upward horns on the skull. Their fur shifts between silver and gold in the light. Most beautiful creatures I've encountered in this life, also genuinely strong, roughly on par with the wyverns I've been hunting. One of them wanders into my nest territory and makes direct eye contact. My fear skill radius is 300 meters. The Nearth felt it before it saw me. When our eyes actually meet, the Nearth drops low, growls once, a performance more than a threat, then turns and runs. I take off and catch it before it reaches the tree line. The landing is clean. The Nearth's death is quick, faster than anything on the mountain. This is what the stat gap looks like from the strong side. The forest ecosystem is layered in a way the mountain wasn't. Epiaster eagles hunt Hessa lizards. Hessa eat insects and tiny frost arachna. Nothing in this forest actually threatens me at current level, except potentially the ice asps. I find only juvenile variants here, lesser ice asps, never an adult. I search my full 400-kilometer territory systematically and find 0 adult ice asps anywhere. That's wrong. Juveniles don't exist without adults somewhere. Either the adults are elsewhere, or there's something in this forest that the adult ice asps actively avoid. I want to know which. I expand my search and find it. On the far southern edge of my patrol territory, behind a large hill, a lake, perfectly blue, impossibly blue, not frozen despite the winter cold around it, and the snow line stops exactly where the lake begins. Not gradually, exactly. A hard line where winter ends and something warmer begins. Underground springs feeding it from below. I land on the hilltop overlooking the lake and activate third eye on the water surface. There's something in it, something large. Translucent, moving just below the surface. A snake, ice-colored, translucent, like it was carved from glacier material, blending perfectly with the lake water. My Chaos Dragon Eye flags it because it's moving against the current. Race, Ice Asp, level 19, HP 2437, Strength 2501, Speed 3209, Defense 3009. Skills, Ice Scales level 6, Frost Venom level 8, Absolute Hearing level 3, Ice Heart, Thermal Vision level 5, Frost Eye, Titles: Cold-Blooded, Cannibal, Poison Expert, Monster Slayer, Tyrann. 5 titles on a level 19 serpent living in a magic lake in a forest. This world is packed with dangerous things. Level 19, speed of 3209. Faster than me at this level. Defense of 3009, just above mine. This is a real fight, not a hunt. But also, this is my lake now. That decision is already made. I dive off the hilltop directly at the lake surface. The Ice Asp is about to learn what happens when a Chaos Dragon decides something belongs to it. That lesson ends one way. The Ice Asp feels me before I hit the water. Something in its thermal vision or absolute touch skill picks up the pressure wave of my dive, and it moves, fast, sideways, out of the impact zone. I crash into the lake surface and go under. The water is warm, genuinely warm, almost hot in places near the bottom where the underground springs feed in. I can feel it everywhere through my scales. The Ice Asp is already repositioning when I surface. It coils at the far end of the lake, head raised, watching me with translucent eyes, waiting to see what I do next. I do the same. We study each other across the blue water for 3 full seconds. Nobody blinks. Then it attacks first, and the fight begins properly. The snake moves through water faster than I can track visually. My third eye gives me the aura signature, but by the time I process the position data, the asp is already on me. It wraps around my body, and immediately ice starts forming on my scales. Not the gradual cold I used to feel before temperature nullification. This is a direct magical effect, bypassing temperature entirely. My scales lock up. My movement slows. The asp is trying to freeze me solid while I'm still in the water where it has every advantage. Smart snake, wrong dragon. I oscillate my scales outward. The sharp edges of hatchling chaos, dragon scales rotating against each other, generate enough force to shatter the ice layer before it fully sets. The asp gets cut. Bleeding status applied. The asp recoils from the cuts. I surface immediately. We're doing this in the air now, not the water. Different rules up there. I launch myself out of the lake and into the air above it. The asp rises from the water after me. It can apparently move through air as well as water, levitating, trailing lake droplets. It spits at me from below. The spit freezes in midair and arrives as ice shards. I roll sideways and most of them miss. 2 catch my left wing. Ice forms on the membrane. My flight wobbles. I breathe fire downward. The black-red chaos flame catches the asp, and this time it can't move fast enough. The fire clings to it. It can't be extinguished by water. That's the point of chaos fire. The asp tries to douse itself by diving into the lake. It surfaces 20 seconds later, still burning. The chaos fire is simply still there, burning through water pressure and lake temperature both. It hits me again with a venom spit before I can close the distance. The venom doesn't penetrate my scales, but the impact knocks me back. I stabilize my flight and come in again. Third exchange, I hit the asp with my tail. Spikes first, full extension. It connects. Then I bite into the midsection while it's recovering. Then I breathe fire point blank. The asp wraps me one more time, a last attempt, but the ice doesn't form fast enough now. The chaos fire burning on it transfers partially where it's touching me and burns the asp from both sides. 30 seconds later, it's over. The asp sinks. I float in the warm water for a moment and stare at the lake surface around me. Then I analyze the water itself. Level up notification fires. Level 4. And something new. A full status readout of the lake appears in my analysis field. Holy spring water. Rarity 8 out of 10. Consumed internally. Removes all negative status effects. Applied externally, regenerates minor physical damage such as scarring and surface wounds. Valuable alchemical ingredient. I read this 3 times. Then I look at the lake. Then I read it a 3rd time just to confirm I'm reading correctly. A full lake. Mine. I have a lake. A full lake. Of the rarest healing water in the world. That I now own because I found it and killed the snake that was living in it. This is mine. I climb out of the lake and sit beside it. The warm air around the water feels different from the cold forest, a bubble of spring temperature maintained by whatever underground system feeds this place. I submerge my left wing, the one with ice damage from the asp's spit. Within about 10 minutes, the membrane repairs itself. The surface tension that the ice disrupted knots back together. External application regenerates minor damage. The ice damage from the fight qualifies as minor. I sit in this warm spring lake for the rest of the day and just heal. That was the beginning of what turned out to be a very busy month. The lake is a resource magnet, and everything in range eventually comes to try and take it. The lake has properties that broadcast across the forest like a signal. Every creature that can sense magic at all feels it, and starts moving in this direction. I become a full-time territorial defense. Within 3 days, I fight off 2 more ice asps, a nearth pack of 6, a herd of 15 mammoth-like herbivores I've never seen before, and 3 acid arachna from different directions. All of them wanted access to the lake. None of them got it. The lake is mine, and I made that clear in the most direct way each time. The message is spreading through the forest ecosystem. I establish my nest 2 kilometers from the lake, close enough that my third eye covers it constantly, far enough that I can sleep without the lake's constant stream of visitors waking me up. Every morning I fly to the lake, drink, submerge for an hour. The basilisk damage, the limping, the petrification in my status fades slowly over the first 2 weeks. By the end of week 2, status reads normal. Not damaged, not petrification, normal. For the first time since the basilisk incident, I'm walking on all four legs without compensation. Then, after a month of daily drinking and bathing, a new skill notification appears. Resistance to dark magic level 1 acquired. This makes no immediate sense to me. You develop resistances by surviving exposure to something harmful. The spring water isn't harmful. It's healing water with a light magic affinity. So why dark magic resistance? Then I think about it and understand the light magic in the water has been accumulating in my body over time. Light and darkness oppose each other. My body built a counter. I have both darkness and light attributes, protected by Sophia and Leviathan simultaneously. Chaos, dragon breath of darkness. And now developing light resistance from within. I don't know what this means long term. I do know that my status screen is becoming increasingly unusual for something that started life as a dragon egg at level 1 with 50 in every stat. Several skills evolved. Gift of speed became high speed. Gift of strength became great strength. Gift of stealth split into 2 separate skills. High stealth and mimicry. Okay? Mimicry lets me temporarily merge my visual signature with any object at least twice my size. While merged, I'm effectively invisible. Maximum duration, 60 seconds per activation. The cost problem, 100 MP per meter of body per second. My body is 11 meters tall and 25 meters long, approximately 3,600 MP per second. I have 4021 MP total, so I can hold it for just over 1 second. I look at the math for a moment and get a skill notification immediately. Intermediate mathematics, level 1 acquired. I was going to be insulted, but actually that is a genuinely useful skill to have. The combat skills from my first life evolved too. Swordsmanship, archery, and martial arts all became master rank, through level scaling alone, without me physically using them once. At some point, I'll be able to take human form and use these skills properly. I'm looking forward to that considerably more than I expected when I first saw them in my newborn status screen. Then the day comes that I'm flying my patrol route over the southern section of the forest, and Third Eye picks up something unusual. I've learned this forest, every species, every aura signature, every territory boundary and hunting pattern. 20 individuals moving together don't match anything I know. The group I'm detecting doesn't match any species in my catalog. The aura variation pattern is wrong for every monster type I've encountered in this forest. Frost Arachna auras are tiny and uniform. Aipu auras are large and identical. This group has wildly varying aura intensities. One signal faint, the next strong, the one after that faint again. That variation pattern doesn't exist in monster populations. Within a species, levels stay close. Wild aura variation means different individual power levels, which herds don't have. The second anomaly, movement. They're slow, uncertain, stopping and starting. Monsters move with purpose toward food or away from threats. This group is moving like something that isn't sure. I change course and fly south toward the signal. My third eye narrows focus as I close the distance, filtering out everything except the 20 signatures ahead of me. 1 kilometer out, I pick up a smell. Familiar, but I can't immediately place it. Not rot, not chemical monster signatures. Something I recognized from my first life. Then it resolves. Iron, old iron, metal, and something underneath it. Organic, not monster organic. Different in a way that takes me several seconds to identify. Then I place it. Half a kilometer out, I can see them through the trees with my chaos dragon eye. Small shapes moving between the silver epiaster trunks. Bipedal, 2 legs, walking upright between the trees. And I look down at them properly for the first time. Bipedal, 2 legs, walking upright between the silver epiaster trunks. Small shapes in the cold. People, human beings, 20 of them roughly. Men and women, some in battered armor, clearly repaired multiple times. Some in plain clothing wrapped against the cold. Several of them are injured. I can see it in the way they're walking, some being half carried by others. One man is being supported on both sides, his leg wrapped in cloth gone dark with old blood. They're not marching, they're surviving. Whatever happened before they reached this forest, they arrived here already damaged and short on everything a person needs to keep going. I stay completely still on the branch above them. My invisible skill is high enough that, even at my size, nothing below me looks up. They have no idea I'm here. I watch them move through the trees below me. I listen to the sounds they make. I activate every sensing skill I have and just observe without doing anything. The language they're speaking is one I can partially understand. Not fluently. Words are missing, some constructions don't map cleanly, but the structure produces meaning. It's some combination of the wisdom of ancestor skill and the fact that I was always quick with languages in my first life. Partial comprehension, enough to follow the broad thread. The man with the injured leg gives instructions, short sentences, careful. He's clearly in command, despite being the most damaged one present. He tells someone to scout ahead. A woman near the front says something about water, about how long since they've had clean water, about how this forest is taking longer to cross than they expected. I know where the water is. I know exactly where the best water this entire forest is. Warm, clean, light magic saturated, healing, ready to fix whatever is wrong with everyone in that group. I look at them for a long time from my branch. Think about what I am. Think about what they are. Think about the gap between those two things and what I want to do with it. You can't learn the story of a world from a mountain. You learn it from the people who live in it. I've known this since the day I hatched. I just couldn't act on it until now. I make a decision, not a small one. the kind of decision that determines what kind of second life this becomes, and I make it deliberately, without second-guessing myself. I drop from the branch, not onto them. I land in the path ahead of them, approximately 30 meters forward. Enough space that it reads as deliberate rather than accidental. The reaction is immediate. Shouts, weapons drawn, swords, a spear, a shortened crossbow. The man with the injured leg pulls himself upright despite the leg and draws his blade in one motion. They form up automatically. The healthy ones create a ring around the ones who can't fight. This formation happens without discussion. These people have done this before, many times. I sit, don't move, don't breathe fire, don't display my wings. I fold everything close to my body and sit in the path like a very large, very black, dragon-shaped obstacle that has chosen not to act. We look at each other, 30 meters of frozen forest path between us. Nobody speaks, nobody moves. The standoff holds completely still while everyone decides what to do. The man with the injured leg speaks first. His voice is controlled. Not calm, but controlled. He says something my partial comprehension picks up as approximately, "What do you want?" A reasonable question. I appreciate that he went directly to the point instead of screaming. I respect competence under pressure. It's the most useful quality in any situation like this. The problem is I can't answer him. I have no voice that produces human language. I have a dragon voice. My attempt to speak, weeks ago alone on the mountain, produced only roars. But I can demonstrate intent through action. I turn slightly sideways, showing I'm not orienting my mouth toward them. I drop my head to ground level. I stay still and wait. A woman near the man with the leg, clearly close to him in some way, says something quiet to him. The only word I catch translates roughly as not attacking. He doesn't lower his weapon. The man with the injured leg doesn't lower his weapon. But he also doesn't advance. He watches me. I watch him. The standoff continues for another 30 seconds. Then I do something I've been thinking about since I started following them. I turn and start walking. South, toward the lake, slowly. Then I stop and look back at them. He says something to the woman beside him. She responds. He says something else. A brief exchange I don't fully catch. Then he says something to the whole group. I catch the tone, if not all the words. A decision has been made. They start moving toward me. Slowly, weapons still out, but moving, following. It's enough. I turn back south and walk. I walk, they follow. I keep my pace slow enough that the injured can maintain it. I stop when they stop. I wait when they rest. I don't look back at them more than necessary. 20 minutes of walking. The temperature shift that marks the lake's territory becomes noticeable. The cold that saturates the rest of the forest softens. The air warms slightly. When the lake becomes visible through the trees, the group makes a sound. Not quite words. A collective exhale from people who have been cold and waterless for too long and just found both. Several of them move past me toward the water immediately. The ones who held the defensive ring around the injured break it to reach the lake. The man with the leg is guided to the water's edge. I watch from the tree line, giving them space, not following into the clearing immediately. I sit and let them reach the water without me crowding the moment. The woman who said not attacking looks back at me once. She holds my gaze for a moment, then she turns back to help someone unwrap a wound at the waterside. A young man, barely more than a boy, with a wound across his forearm, washes it in the lake and gets it rewrapped. Within minutes, I can see the change in how he's holding the arm. Tension gone. External application regenerates minor physical damage. The lake, working exactly as described in the analysis, readout. I watch the effects register in real time across multiple people. The man with the injured leg is sitting at the water's edge. His leg is in the lake. He's not speaking. Just sitting there watching the water with an expression I can't read at this distance. I wait. Long enough that the group settles, eats something from their packs, organizes the injured near the water. Long enough that crisis mode softens into exhausted rest. Then I walk to the edge of the clearing and lie down at the tree line. Not close enough to crowd them. Not far enough to seem like I've left. Just present, available, not threatening. The man with the injured leg looks at me across the clearing for a long time. I look back. I still can't speak. He still doesn't know what to do with me. Neither of us does anything about it. Eventually he says something to the woman beside him and she laughs. Genuine surprised laughter. I don't know what he said, but the sound of it is the first genuinely human sound I've heard in weeks. I close my eyes partway, not fully. Third eye stays active on the perimeter, but enough to communicate clearly. I'm not watching you. You're safe here. Stay as long as you need. They build a fire on the far side of the clearing. I hear it before I see the light. Then quiet conversation. Someone coughing. Someone crying very softly in a way they're trying to hide. I lie at the tree line and listen to 20 humans settling in around a warm lake. The crackle of a fire they build. Quiet conversation. Someone coughing. Someone crying very quietly. And I think about everything since a bus hit me on a Monday morning in Tokyo. The White Room, the goddess, the egg, the centipede, the basilisk, the wyvern, the spider, the evolution. All of it. 20 people who have no idea what I am beyond large, black, and apparently not trying to kill them, who followed a dragon to the only warm lake in the forest because what else do you do? Maybe that's coincidence. Maybe this world runs on something other than coincidence. I don't know yet. I'm going to find out. I don't know anything about these people. Where they came from, where they're going, what happened to the injured ones, why they're crossing this forest in winter at all. But I have time. I'm not going anywhere. And neither, it seems, are they. Not tonight. Tonight they rest, and I watch the perimeter, and this is enough. The fire crackles. Someone starts speaking in a low voice, telling something, a story maybe. The cadence has that quality. Others listen. I listen too, even though I catch maybe one word in 5. Eventually the talking slows. People sleep. The fire burns lower. The man with the injured leg stays awake the longest, watching the lake, watching me occasionally, watching the tree line. I've been alone since I was born in this world. The mountain was solitary. The forest was solitary. Every fight was just me and whatever was trying to kill me. This is the first night that's different. This is the first night where there are other people within hearing distance, and none of them are trying to kill me. That counts for something. That counts for quite a lot, actually. The story of this world is just beginning for me. Level 18, Hatchling Chaos Dragon, owner of a magical lake on the Romaine continent, protected by the Light Goddess and the Dark God simultaneously. There's a legendary shield in a mine waiting to be returned to a family that may or may not exist. There's a world of races, magic, kingdoms, and demon kings I haven't touched yet. There's a true dragon evolution at the end of this path, the form that can take human shape, and the form where I walk into a city, order food, ask questions, and use my swordsmanship properly. All of that is ahead. All of it is coming. I've been in this world for a short time, and it has already given me more than my first life ever managed. The second act is just starting. But tonight there's a fire and 20 people resting by a warm lake, and one dragon lying at the tree line, listening to the sound of people being alive in the same space as me. From across the clearing and a gap between the dying conversation, the man with the injured leg looks over at me again, just for a moment. His expression is unreadable at this distance. Then he looks back at the fire, and I look back at the forest. And the night is quiet and cold and enormous and completely, impossibly full of things I haven't encountered yet. That's fine. I have time. I'm a dragon. I have nothing but time in the second life I chose in a world that doesn't know what's coming for it. And honestly, I cannot wait to find out what this world has planned for a dragon who used to be a Yakuza errand boy with a bad habit of not looking before crossing roads.